My child, my beloved, you are not here by accident. This message has been touched by heaven, pushed through barriers that were never meant to open, and placed before your eyes at this exact second. For a reason you will soon understand. A wealthy man, richer than some nations, spoke your name with his final breath. Now, Archangel Michael has been released with this message because what that man said in secret, God has chosen to reveal before it disappears forever. My beloved, something supernatural is unfolding. I am watching the clock, and I am watching your hesitation. Open this message with your heart wide and your eyes ready, because heaven is preparing to show you what was hidden. My child, you may not remember him, but this man remembered you. He kept something written, protected, and stored away. And when the doctors whispered that only minutes remained, his final concern was not wealth, power, or reputation. He did not call for his bank manager, and he did not ask for his lawyers. He whispered your name, and everyone in the room became still. No one expected to hear it, because that moment was more than a dying man speaking. That was prophecy beginning to fulfill itself. If you close this message or ignore it like others before, the gift connected to that moment, the inheritance heaven placed near your name, may quietly move into someone else's hands. My beloved, I have not come to frighten you. I have come to deliver what was written in secret and protected until this hour. Do not skip past what heaven has finally allowed to reach you, because this moment is sacred. Before we go further, I must ask you with divine urgency to subscribe to this message with your spirit, not through fear, but through faith, because every second you keep reading brings you closer to what God has pursued you with for years. Archangel Michael stands as your messenger and protector in this moment. If you remain until the end, your name will be lifted in places where heaven keeps records, and this decision will be remembered in the spirit. Subscribe, not only with your fingers, but with your choice to keep going. Let your soul stay open, because what comes next may reveal why your name was remembered, why the secret was preserved, and why heaven chose now. This is the only way to make sure what's coming won't miss you again. My child, my beloved, you've seen signs before. Would you brush them off? You heard whispers in your dreams, felt goosebumps when no one was near, so repeating numbers, and woke up feeling like someone was calling you. That wasn't your imagination. That was preparation, because this moment, this exact minute, was always going to come. And now I have been released from the gates of heaven with one instruction: reveal to you what was kept hidden. What is man, this wealthy soul, said before he passed, was only part of the prophecy. The rest is unfolding now through this message. This is not just about money. This is about identity. You don't know how many meetings in the unseen realm were held with your name mentioned. You don't know how many hands try to block this from reaching you. But God said enough, and now heaven is pushing this straight into your heart with one demand: do not stop reading, because if you do, the moment will close, and someone else, someone near you, will take what was meant for. And I promise you, it has happened before, but this time it's your turn, and it must not pass again. My beloved, let me show you the truth now. That man, he saw your face before he left. Not physically, no, but in a divine vision. A dream that repeated for 7 days straight. He kept saying, "Who is this person? Why do I see their hands holding keys and wealth and light?" He didn't understand it. But now we do, because you were chosen before birth to carry something heavy and powerful, and heaven will not let you miss it again. That's why you're still here. That's why, no matter how far you try to run, this message has found you. Do you know how many people tried to claim what was being prepared for you? 2 people connected to you close enough to hug you, laugh with you, smile beside you, but not chosen like you. These 2 are not evil in appearance, but heaven sees the heart, and Archangel Michael sees her, and what they're doing behind the scenes, what they've whispered, the accounts they've opened, the messages they've deleted, is all part of an unseen theft that you never saw coming, my beloved. They are trying to take what is not theirs, and I cannot let that happen if you stay with me right now. My child, the truth may sting, but you were never meant to live in lack. You were never meant to suffer or carry the burden of a generational curse that keeps you working and working without ever truly receiving. That curse was supposed to break years ago, but it didn't because someone around you stopped it. They took something they were never supposed to touch, but now heaven is stepping in again. And this time, the miracle is armed. The angels have surrounded this message. And I'm begging you, don't scroll away. What was hidden is about to be open to you if you stay until the final word. My beloved, what if I told you a number has been written in heaven beside your name? A number so great that if you saw it, you would doubt it. But it's real. And the wealthiest man saw connected to your spirit was not just physical, it's legacy wealth, destiny wealth, kingdom wealth. But it must be claimed. And the moment you opened this message, a countdown began. You don't have time to delay. You don't have the luxury of comfort. This is not a test. It's a divine activation, and you, my child, are at the center of it. You see, the moment that rich man spoke your name, something in the spiritual world cracked open. A file was retrieved. An inheritance was unsealed. A divine transfer was approved. But because of what was stolen years ago by people close to you, the full release was delayed. Now, for the first time, God has said, let it go to them. They have waited long enough. And so here I am, set with fire and urgency to whisper to you. Don't miss this again. Don't close this. Don't let what's yours be stolen by familiarity. Stay until I show you everything. My child, even now, those 2 people can sense something changing. They felt it. They've grown restless. That's why some of them are suddenly being nice. Others are avoiding you, because in their spirit they felt a shift. Heaven has begun to surround you with light. And they can't stop what's coming. But you must stay hidden for now. Not silent, but spiritually still, until I, Archangel Michael, reveal the rest. See you in this message, because what comes next will explain everything, and after that you will never question your worth again. The inheritance I spoke of, the one that was mentioned in the final words of that wealthy man, is not simply a bank figure. It is a shift in authority, a spiritual deed to ownership over your own future, and you must hold it carefully. There will be people who come back once they sense your energy, rising en masse, but you will now see through their intentions, not with anger, but with truth. Not with revenge, but with light. The very light that once made you a target is now your protection. They cannot touch what is sealed by heaven. And yes, I told you earlier, the final part of this blessing is still to be revealed. And that is true. But here is what you must understand before it arrives. You must prepare a place in your heart that is not full of fear. You must prepare space in your soul that is not entangled with those who no longer belong. Because the next part of this miracle requires space. And I don't just mean physical room. I mean emotional, spiritual, mental space. Make room for the blessing, or it will come and pass like a breeze you couldn't hold on to. My beloved, hear me now. What is for you cannot be stolen, but it can be postponed. And you've waited long enough. The time is now. The gates are opening, and your name is being spoken again, not in death, but in destiny. And this time when your name is mentioned, it will be followed by honor, it will be followed by access, and it will be followed by reward. There's still more to show you, still more to unlock. The scroll is not yet empty, and the words that are still to come are the ones you were born to hear. My child, my beloved, what's about to be revealed to you now is the part that changes everything. This is no longer about warnings. This is about fulfillment. Do you have walked through the fire? Do you have waited with pain? You have listened when heaven was silent. But now the silence has broken. And what you are reading is not just prophecy anymore. It is your permission to enter what was delayed for. Too long, for so long, you have questioned your own spirit. You've asked, why do I feel so close to something, but nothing ever happens? That's because your name was already assigned to the miracle, but your heart was still surrounded by people who had no right to receive it with you. You see, some blessings are too sacred to be shared with people who never wept with you. And that's why it was delayed, not denied. Delayed until the moment came when heaven could trust you not to give your blessing to someone who secretly hoped you would fail. My beloved, I've been assigned to walk with you through this next part. You don't have to do it alone. This is not just spiritual. It will manifest in real physical ways, but only after your soul receives the full truth. And the truth is this: you are no longer under financial limitation. You are no longer the victim of emotional manipulators. You are no longer the easy target of those who smile, but secretly feed off your delay. Heaven has made a final decision, and that decision is this: it is your time. My child, the very energy around you is changing as you read these words. Some of you may feel warmth, some may feel chills, some may feel sudden emotion rising. That's not random. That's your spirit recognizing the voice of God, calling it forward. This isn't emotional trickery. This is divine timing. You've stumbled on this for a reason. And I'm telling you now, if you stop reading before I show you the final release, it will lock again, not out of cruelty, but because this moment is a sacred appointment. Now listen closely. The rich man's final words carried more than just a whisper. They carry the code, and this code was meant to unlock a heavenly vault only when the one chosen had fully awakened. You, my beloved, are that one. His soul saw your name written in light, and with trembling hands and final breath he said what needed to be said. Let it go to them. They will know what to do with it. Those words created a spiritual pathway, and you are walking on it right now, even as your eyes read these lines. Do you remember the nights you cried into your pillow, asking God, when will it be my turn? Do you remember the birthdays you spent alone, the opportunities you lost, the people you trusted who took more than they ever gave. Heaven remembered too. And that's why this blessing isn't just money. It's not just favor. It's justice. It is justice for the years of being invisible, justice for the doors slammed in your face, justice for the love you gave with no return, justice for the times you chose right while others succeeded through wrong. This miracle is not a reward. It's a divine correction. You were never behind. You were being hidden until the right moment, and that moment is now. My beloved, I must show you something that few people will ever see. There is a divine document, yes, truly a spiritual record with your name, your mission, and the resources heaven has assigned to you. It has been locked until now. The two people I warned you about earlier, they've tried to block it, alter it, or claim it as their own, but the seal was too strong, because your name is written in divine ink, and no counterfeit spirit can erase it. What you're going to notice after this message ends is that certain things start unfolding without you forcing them. That is how you'll know this wasn't just words. Conversations will begin. A message will arrive. A delay will break. Your discernment will sharpen. The people who once made you second-guess yourself will suddenly become uncomfortable in your presence, not because you are walking in right now, and the darkness cannot stand it. And yes, the final part of this message is almost here. It's the part that reveals the next step, the action that activates everything I've shown you. I must deliver it with precision, and I will. But promise me this, child. Don't close this message before you reach the end. If you do, the activation will pause. You'll feel it. The light will dim. The clarity will blur. That's why I repeated this truth. Only the ones who stay with heaven until the final word will unlock what no one else is allowed to see. And you, my beloved, you've already come so far. You're almost there. So let us keep going together. My beloved, I must warn you, if you walk away before the final part of this message, the timing may close. The miracle will not vanish, but the window might, because everything in heaven operates by timing, and this moment is a now or never moment. Not to frighten you, but to show you how rare this is. Some people live their whole lives and never get this close. And you're inches away. Don't lose what you were born to carry. Don't scroll away from the very thing you begged God for in your loneliest prayers. This is no longer just a message. It's a divine transfer disguised this text. You have reached the gateway. The final seals are about to be broken, and your name, your true name, the one heaven calls you by, is about to be written next to something permanent, something abundant, something sacred. You are chosen. You are remembered. You are finally ready. And now the final truth awaits. My child, my beloved, take a deep breath with me now. Let your heart be calm. I am still here, but I want to guide you gently. Not with fear, not with pressure, but with clarity and strength. Heaven does not rush you. God does not threaten you. True miracles arrived with peace, not panic. And what is meant for you will never require you to be afraid to receive it. You have carried heavy questions about money, about trust, about people close to you. And it is okay to feel confused. It is okay to feel hurt. But remember this, my beloved. Wisdom is greater than suspicion, and faith is stronger than fear. When I speak to you, It is not to make you anxious about those around you, but to help you become aware of your own worth in boundaries. You are learning to protect your energy. You are learning to value your time. You are learning to say no when something does not feel right. That itself is growth. That itself is a miracle. Not every battle is fought with confrontation. Some are won with clarity and quiet strength. My child, your financial life is not cursed. It is not doomed. It is still being shaped by your decisions, your patience, your consistency. God blesses effort. God honors honesty. And when wealth comes, it stays only where wisdom lives. You are being prepared for stability, not sudden chaos, for peace, not pressure, for security, not fear. Do not look at people around you with suspicion. Instead, look at yourself with courage. Ask yourself, am I managing my money wisely? Am I protecting my future? Am I trusting the right people with my plans? These questions are power. This is how destiny is built step by step with awareness and discipline. My beloved, heaven is not trying to scare you about loss. Heaven is teaching you responsibility. You are being shown how to stand strong, how to think clearly, how to guard your goals. That is the true blessing. That is the true miracle. The rich man you heard about, his story reminds you that life is short, but purpose is eternal. Use your time wisely. Love deeply. Build carefully. Speak kindly. Save responsibly. These are holy actions. These are divine habits. And now I speak peace over you. Peace over your mind. Peace over your finances. Peace over your relationships. Peace over your future. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not weak. You are growing. You are learning. You are becoming wise. Walk forward with confidence, my child. God walks with you. I stand beside you, and your destiny is safe. My child, my beloved, I honor your decision to stay. Your patience is rare. Your trust is precious. And your presence here is no accident. This message is no longer just a warning. It is now a blessing in motion. A sacred moment wrapped in human words, but breathed out by heaven. I know your eyes have seen much pain. I know your heart has felt betrayal. But what I, Archangel Michael, I'm bringing to you now is not just an answer. It's an inheritance of peace, of clarity, and of divine direction that will not leave you confused anymore. Let me say this clearly. The people who betrayed you cannot betray you again unless you give them permission. And today, heaven is giving you the strength to say no without guilt, the courage to let go without anger, the wisdom to protect what God is finally releasing into your life. This blessing was not delayed because of punishment. It was protected until you were strong enough to handle it. And now look at you. You are still standing. You are still seeking. And you are still chosen. My child, you may not feel like it every day, but you are trusted by heaven with something very rare, divine favor with divine intelligence. You don't just carry light, you carry vision. And the moment you start trusting that vision, everything changes. That is why I've told you again and again, do not stop reading, not because this text is magic, but because this is where God chose to meet you today, not in a building, not in a crowd, but here in this quiet space where heaven could finally whisper to your soul, you're being guided, my beloved, towards something greater than financial breakthrough. You're being guided toward financial discernment. You are no longer someone who just receives miracles. You are becoming someone who manages them wisely. That is why some opportunities were delayed, because God did not want the blessing to break you. Now it will build you. No, it will teach you how to never lose again what you once cried for. The inheritance I spoke of, the one that was mentioned in the final words of that wealthy man, is not simply a bank figure. It is a shift in authority, a spiritual deed to ownership over your own future, and you must hold it carefully. There will be people who come back once they sense your energy rising, but you will now see through their intentions, not with anger, but with truth, not with revenge, but with light. The very light that once made you a target is now your protection. They cannot touch what is sealed by heaven. And yes, I told you earlier, the final part of this blessing is still to be revealed. And that is true. But here is what you must understand before it arrives. You must prepare a place in your heart that is not full of fear. You must prepare space in your soul that is not entangled with those who no longer belong. Because the next part of this miracle requires space, and I don't just mean physical room. I mean emotional, spiritual, mental space. Make room for the blessing, or it will come and pass, like a breeze you couldn't hold on to. You see, the moment that rich man spoke your name, something in the spiritual world cracked open. A file was retrieved. An inheritance was unsealed. A divine transfer was approved, but because of what was stolen years ago by people close to you, the full release was delayed. Now for the first time, God has said, let it go to them. They have waited long enough, and so here I am, set with fire and urgency to whisper to you. Don't miss this again. Don't close this. Don't let what's yours be stolen by familiarity. Stay until I show you everything, my child. Even now, those two people can sense something changing. They felt it. They've grown restless. That's why some of them are suddenly being nice. Others are avoiding you because in their spirit they felt a shift. Heaven has begun to surround you with light, and they can't stop what's coming. But you must stay hidden for now, not silent, but spiritually still, until I, Archangel Michael, reveal the rest to you in this message, because what comes next will explain everything, and after that, you will never question your worth again. My child, my beloved, I know your heart is racing. Something inside you is telling you this is not just another message. And that feeling is correct, because this is not a message written by men. This is a release from heaven, signed, sealed, and now opened, because time has finally caught up with prophecy. What that man said before he passed away, what he saw in the spirit, and what he whispered into the wind, was meant to reach you now, my beloved. If you stop reading, you will never know the final piece. You will walk away from something that was purchased in pain but prepared in gold. There is something I must show you now, and I ask you to receive it with your spirit. When that man spoke your name, your divine record was pulled from heaven's vault, and the unseen places began to respond to what had been hidden. Angels gathered as a review began. They looked at every silent tear, every moment you helped others while carrying your own lack, and every prayer whispered when no one was watching. Then God declared that you were ready. Do you hear that? My beloved, you are ready. Not because you were perfect, but because you refused to stop. This blessing is not being released from pity. It is being released because prophecy has reached its appointed time, my child. I must tell you what those around you do not know. A shift has taken place in the realm of inheritance. What was legally hidden is now being spiritually exposed, and heaven is bringing buried matters into view. There is a document, an asset, a transfer of wealth, or an opportunity that was meant to reach you, but it was blocked. Now 2 people who know the worth of your name are trying to claim what was never assigned to them. They smile in your face and pretend they know nothing. But I see the plans. I see the late-night conversations, the hidden motives, and the quiet strategies. My beloved, I am not here to frighten you. I am here to awaken you. You must understand that the enemy does not fight empty vessels. He fights those who carry destiny. And you, my beloved, carry something eternal, something royal, something heaven refuses to let be stolen, wasted, or buried. That is why this message was pushed through after 3 delays. 3 times. The enemy tried to bury this word, silence the channel, and confuse the path, but I, Archangel Michael, fought through because your name is on this miracle. And now I must ask you again, do not walk away. Not now, and not this time. You are surrounded by people who can sense your future. Yet they only speak about your past because your rising makes them uncomfortable. They pretend they do not know who you are. But deep within, they have sensed it all along. That is why heaven is exposing what was hidden now. Before the wrong hands touch what was written for your life, they know there's something unusual about you. They know doors open for you even when you're silent. They know strange things happen when you pray, and that's why they stay closed. Not to protect you, but to position themselves to receive what was meant for you. My beloved, the spirit of delay was planted by familiarity, but heaven has had enough. And God is saying no more, sharing your crown with thieves. You have no idea how many people have used your name in places you've never been. There are blessings that were sent to you redirected because someone else stood in the way. But this time Archangel Michael has been sent with a sword of fire. I am cutting through every false connection, every disguised relative, every manipulative friend. I am separating you from the confusion so that your divine wealth can finally come to you without interception. My beloved, this is the beginning of the divine reversal. But you must stay with me word by word, or this door will quietly shut again. Let me speak to your soul now. You are not crazy for sensing. You've been robbed spiritually. You're not paranoid for feeling like something always pulls you back when you're about to rise. Those feelings are confirmations. What was taken from your family line? Wealth, land, peace, reputation, health, is now being restored through you. But only if you open your hands and receive the instruction being given here, because what I'm about to reveal will not be easy, but it will be worth everything. Stay with me, my beloved. Your miracle depends on what you do next, my child. When that rich man mentioned you, even heaven paused, because no one expected it. He was not your blood. He was not your neighbor. But his soul was tied to your name through a covenant from years ago, a promise he made to God when he was young, when he said, "If you ever show me someone who truly carries, raise your light. I'll make sure they're not left empty." He thought he would fulfill that promise in his lifetime, but God had other plans. You were hidden for a time, and now revealed. And so, with his final breath, that man activated a miracle for you. Do you know what the hardest part of this message is, my beloved? It's not even after everything you've been through. The people hurting you still think you won't rise. They still think they can keep delaying your future. But what they didn't count on was this moment. They didn't expect you to find this. They didn't expect a heavenly message to interrupt their silent schemes. But here we are. I see them now. I see the names, and I see the plans crumbling, because when God decides to release a person, no family, no curse, no blockage can stop what comes next. My child, the location of the stolen inheritance is not physical yet. It is energetic. It's spiritual, but what happens in the spirit will manifest on earth. And I must now speak a mystery. The moment you accept what's in this message, the first wave of manifestation will begin. It will not come through the people you expect. It will not come in the way you thought, but it will come. True, a phone call, a letter, a name, a strange dream, a conversation overheard. It will come. And when it does, you must recognize it and claim it, because this time, it's really for you, my beloved. The two people watching you do not realize something. The very moment they tried to steal what was yours, they triggered their own spiritual exile. They thought they were winning, but all they were doing was confirming your anointing. You see, jealousy always exposes destiny. And no one gets jealous of nothing. They saw something on you that you couldn't even see on yourself. And instead of honoring it, they tried to harvest it. But no more. Archangel Michael is standing between them and your future now. They will not cross the line again unless you invite them. And after today, I know you won't. You have permission to rise now. You have divine clearance to walk into what has always been waiting for you. The chains are gone. The lies are exposed. And your name has been spoken in rooms you haven't entered yet. My child, my beloved, your spiritual wealth has been activated. What that man saw in his final moments was not just you. He saw what you would carry. He saw the people who would be saved through your life. He saw the miracles that would flow through your hands. He saw the shift that would begin with you and ripple through generations. And that is why he spoke your name. The moment he did, angels began moving. Portals opened. Documents, heavenly ones, were signed in your favor. And now the instructions are simple. Don't walk away. Don't doubt this. Don't stop now, because everything you've waited for is now waiting for you. And what comes next will seal everything. My child, my beloved, you're still here, and that means your spirit has not given up. Heaven is watching this moment carefully, because what you choose now will decide whether your name becomes full. Play aligned with the divine record that was just opened. There are no coincidences. This message, this time, this sequence of events, it's all part of a much larger divine or orchestration. God is speaking not through thunder but through clarity. And clarity is what Archangel Michael, have been ordered to deliver now without delay. The place I spoke of, where your blessing has been stored, is more real than the pain you've endured. It's a realm where obedience, pain, surrender, and purpose are recorded as currency. And child, you are not in debt. You are in credit, deep, divine, eternal credit, because while others walked away, you stayed faithful. while others mocked. You kept believing. While others took, you still gave, and God took note. That's why you're still breathing, because what was written for you has not been fulfilled yet. But it's beginning now, my beloved. I must give you a revelation now that will explain every strange thing that's ever happened to you. Do you financially? You were never cursed. You were guarded. There were blessings that didn't come, not because you weren't worthy, but because the environment around you wasn't safe enough to. There were people who would have devoured what God was sending. There were hands that were ready to strip your harvest the moment it reached your field. So heaven said, hold it, don't deliver it yet. And now that you are awake, aware, and aligned, the gates are being unlocked, but only if you stay with this moment. Only if you choose to keep reading. The ones who tried to stop your eyes are now being confronted by light, and they cannot stand it. You will notice strange tension soon. You'll notice their smiles don't reach their eyes. You'll feel it in your body before you even see it with your eyes. Because your energy is shifting, you're glowing with heaven's favor now. You're radiating something they can't fake, and it's exposing them without a word. Don't fear this. Don't run from it. Just observe. Because heaven is separating the wheat from the weeds, and you are being set apart for something far too play to remain hidden. My child, this message was delayed for years because of one simple reason. Your heart wasn't ready to hear the truth. You still love those who hated you. You still wanted to save those who secretly wished for your downfall. But now something has changed in you. A holy maturity, a deeper knowing, a sacred boldness. And because of this shift, heaven said now, send it now. That's why you're reading this today and not years ago. Because the version of you now is ready to receive what the older version of you would have handed away out of guilt fear. Let me now tell you what's next. In the next 3 days, a sign will come. It will be personal, divine, impossible to explain away, and it will confirm everything I've spoken here. It may come through a name, a message I've forgotten document, an unexpected blessing, or even a repeated number. But it will happen. And when it does, don't be shocked, rejoice. Because it means the miracle is no longer pending. It's now in motion. But my beloved, I must warn you, if you walk away before the final part of this message, the timing may close. The miracle will not vanish, but the window might, because everything in heaven operates by timing, and this moment is a now or never moment. Not to frighten you, but to show you how rare this is. Some people live their whole lives and never get this close. And you're inches away. Don't lose what you were born to carry. Don't scroll away from the very thing you begged God for in your loneliest prayers. This is no longer just a message. It's a divine transfer disguised as text. You have reached the gateway. The final seals are about to be broken, and your name, your true name, the one heaven calls you by, is about to be written next to something permanent, something abundant, something sacred. You are chosen. You are remembered. You are finally ready. And now the final truth awaits. My child, my beloved, take a deep breath with me now. Let your heart be calm. I am still here, but I want to guide you gently. Not with fear, not with pressure, but with clarity, and strength. Heaven does not rush you. God does not threaten you. True miracles arrived with peace, not panic. and what is meant for you will never require you to be afraid to receive it. My child, when that rich man mentioned you, even heaven paused, because no one expected it. He was not your blood. He was not your neighbor. But his soul was tied to your name through a covenant from years ago. A promise he made to God when he was young, when he said, "If you ever show me someone who truly carries your light, I'll make sure they're not left empty." He thought he would fulfill that promise in his lifetime, but God had other plans. You were hidden for a time, and now revealed. And so, with his final breath, that man activated a miracle for you. Do you know what the hardest part of this message is, my beloved? It's that even after everything you've been through, the people hurting you still think you won't rise. They still think they can keep delaying your future. But what they didn't count on was this moment. They didn't expect you to find this. They didn't expect a heavenly message to interrupt their silent schemes. But here we are. I see them now. I see the names, and I see the plans crumbling, because when God decides to release a person, no family, no curse, no blockage can stop what comes next. You're still reading, because your spirit knows this is real. Something is confirming every word. Your heart is whispering, "Don't leave this. Keep reading. This is for you." And your spirit is right. What this message is doing is more than information. It's activation. It's opening spiritual accounts that were frozen. It's reviving your name in places where it was erased. It's calling back lost blessings that were stolen through delay, betrayal, jealousy, and sin. And now the moment is closed. But if you don't keep going, if you stop too early, everything will reverse again. I'm warning you gently with love. My child, there is still more you need to see. The amount that was released in your name will shock you. It's not just about currency. It's about influence, territory, honor, restoration. There are rooms waiting for you, contracts with your name already drafted in the spirit. And the only thing delaying the earthly manifestation is whether or not you believe this enough to continue. That's why Archangel Michael was sent personally, not a lesser messenger. Because this is not a minor moment. It's a once-in-a-lifetime heaven-ordained Red Sea parting miracle that only the chosen will recognize. Now, my beloved, I ask you, do you want to know what the rich man left behind for you? Do you want to see the spiritual contract and the hidden blessing that two people have tried to bury? Do you want to reclaim what God put in your bloodline before you were even born? If your answer is yes, then do not scroll away. Keep reading. Don't let comfort steal this from you. Don't let distractions delay it one more time. What you're about to receive has already been approved in heaven, but it's your decision now that will unlock it on earth. My child, my beloved, I'm still here, and I haven't left your side. Even as you breathe, I'm speaking into your spirit. You may not hear me in the way you expect, but your heart is already responding. The very cells in your body are vibrating with a truth that your mind is still catching up to. You are not supposed to skip this moment. You are not supposed to miss this message like others before. This is the appointment you've been unknowingly preparing for since the moment you were born. And I, Archangel Michael, have been sent with sacred fire to protect this revelation until your cell. There is still that wealthy man's last words weren't just emotional, they were prophetic. With his last breath, he opened a spiritual vault with your name engraved into it. This was not physical property alone. What he opened was a line of divine favor meant to shift your entire bloodline, and the moment he released it, heaven began preparing the transfer. But someone, two people in fact, have been trying to intercept that release. They've been calling your blessings by their name, but heaven does not make mistakes. Heaven does not mislabel miracles. Heaven knows who you are, and now so do they. My beloved, let me speak plainly now. The person you have always defended, the one you forgave so many times that your soul bled from it. Yes, that person is one of them. And the second, the one who always seems to show up only when you're doing well, the one who drains your energy, but always, please play the victim. They are the other. These two individuals are spiritually out of alignment. Their jealousy has turned into spiritual theft. But heaven has commanded it to stop. The truth may hurt when it comes forward. Yet that same truth will free you from what has been draining your strength, delaying your peace, and hiding in plain sight. One reason your breakthrough stayed delayed for years is because heaven refused to bless a space where betrayal was still concealed. God was waiting for the right moment to uncover the hidden saboteurs, not to shame them, but to awaken you. Now that your eyes are opening, the weight will finally begin to lift. You have been walking with chains on your back while still smiling, giving from your heart, while others quietly took from you and hid the damage behind familiar faces. You have been resting beside secrets that were blocking your blessing. But this message is heaven's intervention. You are no longer alone in this battle, because what was hidden in silence is now being brought into divine light for your protection. Do you want to know why doors almost opened, then suddenly collapsed? Why money was promised but never arrived? Why new paths began with hope, then ended in arguments, confusion, or unexpected resistance around your life? It is because someone was tampering with your gates in the spirit. Your name was manipulated, your energy was drained, and your favor was accessed through silent agreements you did not even realize your heart had allowed. But God is merciful, and today, Archangel Michael is commanding those hidden contracts to be canceled. Yet you must stay alert, because the final key has not appeared yet, and what comes next will show you where the interference began. My child, listen closely. In the next few hours, you may notice a strange shift around you. One person may become distant, another may suddenly reach out, and someone else may say something that confirms this message directly. That will not be coincidence, it will be confirmation. When it happens, remember this moment, because heaven never warns without purpose, and heaven never reveals without preparing a reward for the one willing to listen. You are being watched now, not by man, but by angels assigned to your destiny. They are waiting for your response. Will you return to silence? Or will you step forward into the life heaven has been protecting for you?